Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. My channel is about marriage to a woman from the Philippines. That's what I did in 2015, but the relationship talk that I have would apply to any marriage, I think, but please subscribe and leave a comment today. I want to talk about love bombing. Are you being love bombed? And I think it was TikTok when someone made this comment, and I thought to myself, so that's what that is, because I've always felt that something takes place sometimes with Filipinas and foreigners, and it can go the other way too. But this will be mostly about how Filipinas regard or treat some foreigners when they first get to know them, and they come on real strong. I'll leave you a definition here of love bombing. And so I've talked about this, I just didn't know there was a term for it, and I think it fits appropriately. Love bomb. Love bombing is dangerous. Absolutely. It's not illegal to love bomb. You can't get arrested for it, but you could get in big trouble. So here's what it is. Love bombing is a type of emotional manipulation where someone overwhelms another person with affection, attention, and praise to gain control or exploit them. It can occur in romantic relationships, friendships, and work dynamics. Definitely, this is something you see in foreigner and Filipina relationships. I try to caution men I've talked to who are very, very eager and excited early on. And I just feel like, I've seen this so much that it's not realistic. They are potentially falling for a trap, but they don't know it because everything seems so wonderful. Do you know anybody that's been love bombed? Have you been love bombed yourself? Have you tried to talk somebody out of their situation when the woman is coming on unrealistically too strong, too soon? Leave a comment. Let me know about that. I want people to avoid that. Some examples of love bombing. This is from Google AI overview. Giving excessive compliments. Excessive compliments. So if you're a foreigner, maybe you've been divorced, maybe you just have not been able to find a wife like myself way back in 2015 when I got married. Hearing any compliments would be a change for some of us. And then excessive compliments, we start thinking to ourselves, yeah, I really am that wonderful. How come these women in my country didn't see it? And how come this woman over there can see it? Well, she must not be jaded. And so everything she's telling me is true, and it's wonderful, and I think she likes me. She may not. But excessive compliments is not a good sign. I think that's a red flag that you wouldn't normally think of as a red flag. Excessive compliments. Also making grand gestures. I would think this one would be more for the foreigner, who, like I said, can also be involved with love bombing. And this might be, I don't know, you meet her for the first time and you take her to the fanciest hotel in town, or you go somewhere to an island that she's always wanted to see, and just kind of lavish her. Just a grand gesture. That could be an example of love bombing. I felt the same thing about elaborate weddings, because the rubber meets the road after you're married. Before then, like I've said, it's all kind of easy street, exhibition games, the preseason, the minor leagues, but when you get married, that's when things get real. Grand gestures could be a sign of love bombing. Sending over the top gifts, of course, that would be something that the foreigner could do. And we've talked a lot about not sending money overseas, at least not till you've met and you're serious about this person. You might want to marry them. And otherwise, you might be getting taken advantage of. And I would just I would recommend not sending any money until you feel like this is a person you can trust and you can, you'll get married someday. Maybe wait until you propose to her. My wife never wanted to take money from me. We got married real quick, less than 8 weeks from the time I met her online. And then I had to tell her, well, look, I know it was fast, but we are married. You are my wife. I am your husband. And you should allow me to help you. So then she started allowing me to help her. Now here in the States, she's got a full-time job, making more money than I ever did, because she's got very different skills. Another one, love bomb. Wanting to spend all your time together. This could go either way, don't you think? Foreigner, Filipina. I think often it's because the man has to work. We tend to lead, I think, busier lives here in the West. I live here in America. That it would be the Filipina wanting to spend so much time together. It could be love bombing, an attempt to trap him, but she also just may have no idea how much, how busy we are here, how we have to work 5, 6 days a week, maybe more than 8 hours a day. We've got responsibilities. And this is why I made a video recently about, does your Filipina know how much time you have? Not left, but time in your day. And it may take some convincing of her that you really are busy and you can't spend all your time together. But if she wants to do this, it could be she's desperate. She wants to hook you. Or maybe, she's trying to love bomb you, but it may be lonely too. So you just have to try to be perceptive with these things. Here's one I like. Example of love bombing. Saying I love you very early on. Now this gets to me because I've said this so many times in my channel. If you hear I love you early on, they don't mean it. They just don't mean it. Just forget about it. In fact, I would tell them, don't tell me that because you don't mean it. And when you get married, you've been together and you've got to work things out, well, then you can love each other. Until then, you're just trying to get along and see about compatibility and so on. But hearing I love you, who doesn't want to hear that? I don't remember my wife saying that to me when we got married so fast, or me saying it to her. We didn't want to until we got married. And hearing this, I know a lot of guys, it just freezes them in their tracks. She loves me. She did this and that, so she loves me. I can tell she loves me. And common sense would be, no, she's just telling you that. Why? Just to keep you, attached to her so you don't go somewhere else. Maybe to get some money later. But love, as you know, if you've watched my channel, I've got a whole playlist about love on YouTube. Love is a very serious thing. It's difficult. It has to be proven over the difficult road that a marriage can bring you on. So if you hear I love you early on, that's a red flag. To me, these excessive compliments and spending all your time, wanting to spend all your time together, saying I love you very early on, red flags, love bombing, quite likely. Another one here, wanting to make things, quote, official, unquote, straight away. So I'm not sure what that means exactly. Probably wanting to, go steady early on. My wife and I did that on day 5 that I met her, and then we got married or engaged, what was it? We got engaged on day 18, so it was very quick, but we both wanted that, and we're still married 9.5 years later. Another thing, making plans to move in together. Those are some things listed as some examples of love bombing. Now, they also continue, this is important for foreigners, love bombing can lead to an unhealthy and unbalanced relationship. You've probably noticed that. It can make the person on the receiving end feel dependent on their love bomber, which can make it easier for the love bomber to devalue or discard them later in the relationship. And I think this fits the description of a lot of foreigners who have been through a divorce, are just very, very lonely, and so they are susceptible. Let me know what you think here on Love Beyond the Sea.